Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Peace and blessings and welcome, and to many of you, welcome back to Take Back Your Mind podcast, Life Question of the Week. I appreciate that so many of you have liked the podcast, and many of you are subscribing. Thank you. We're creating an algorithm of joy and enlightenment. And many of you have passed this on to many of your friends all around the world. Again, thank you. So today I get to answer a question that someone has emailed me, and it goes like this. Julie is asking this question. How do I deal with strong feelings of guilt? I'm aware that I should forgive myself, but I've done things that I knew at the time weren't right and did them anyway. I try to learn from each experience and have gratitude, but sometimes I feel like a terrible person, and it bugs me that I've done things that I know I shouldn't do. Please guide me through this. Well, Julie, it's a beautiful question, and I have to begin with a commendation that you are aware that you've done some things in your life that you're not proud of. You're not blocking it. You're not hiding it from yourself. You're not denying it. You're saying, there's some things I did I'm not very proud of. So that's a step towards healing. So that you can, denial is a way that people don't heal. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. But to say, yes, I did that, or I said that, is one of the first steps of healing. Now, be aware, in every authentic spiritual path, guilt is not a spiritual practice. There are some people that joke and say things like, well, as a Catholic, guilt is a part of our religion. Some people will say, one of my Jewish friends says, well, it's built into us as Jewish people, guilt. But not really, not at the mystical level of the teachings. Guilt is not a spiritual practice. It is something that is distributed by our ego to keep us in a very small version of ourselves so we can't move forward. So self-forgiveness is extremely important. There's a regret, and then there's renewal that happens through forgiveness. So when you said something or did something that you're not proud of, something that hurt somebody, that was offensive to someone, or even to yourself, you have a sense of regret about it. Real regret doesn't mean guilt. Real regret means, I could have done better. And now you go into a level of forgiving yourself. It's not just one and done. You actually go in and give yourself permission to grow. You mentioned that you've learned lessons from the things you have done. You grab the lesson, you regret what you did, you grab the lesson, and then you pay attention to what you want to be now. How do you want to operate in the world now? What is your behavior now? What is your conversation now? What are your actions now? You begin to see where you want to grow. Now, there's an old statement that I've used over the years, and that is, every sinner has a future, and every saint has a past. We can say it the other way. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. No, so when you see people that they're in integrity with their being, you don't know where they've come from. You don't know the dark roads that they've walked through. You don't know the mistakes they may have made, the missteps. You have any idea, because they've used all of that as grist for the mill to actually become a better version of themselves through regretting, coming into a state of forgiveness so that they can renew. So I need you to put your attention on what you want to become rather than on what you did. You don't deny it, you forgive it. And then you place your attention on the kind of person you want to be. I remember a number of years ago, as a young man, I was watching a man speak on a platform of a lecture I was at, and this man was talking about unconditional love. And I'll always remember, after I heard him speak, I wanted to be an individual that could love unconditionally. Not that I was having a lot of difficulty with that, but I wanted to really grow and to be a strong oak in the vibration of unconditional love. It was years and years and years ago. I mean, agape wasn't even in my mind as a spiritual community. And that began to be like a North Star pull. And people would ask me as the years went on, what do you want to be remembered for? And I think of all the things that I could possibly be remembered for, books, awards, starting a spiritual community, whatever. But I want to be remembered for an individual that loved to love. We're not talking romance, we're not talking sweet sentimentality, we're not talking about liking the people that like you, but love. I want you to look at the being you want to be. And I want you to begin to be captured by that vision and pulled by that vision. And then Sankofa, the African icon, looks back to forgive and learns lessons. You look back a little bit, you learn your lessons. But you're not going to be stuck back there. You're going to learn your lesson. And then you're going to look at the being you want to be. And every single day, you're going to take baby steps to being that being. And you'll come into deep forgiveness. And then you'll become you. First, you'll be trying to catch up with yourself. Then you'll be beside yourself. Then you'll be yourself. I hope this is helpful to many people, not just you, Julie. But thank you for the question. Peace and blessings. Hey, thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to ask a question, please email me at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. And you know what? Your question just might be featured. Have a beautiful and bright day.